I'm going to show you guys how to get a nice sharp edge on your chisels. Now what I'm using here is a honing guide, and they're quite cheap actually, but it allows you to get the right angle on your chisels. This is my sharpening stone. It's got 200, 300, 400 and 600 grit. So if your chisels are really bad, then you want to start with the lowest grit. On the side of the honing guide, it will show you how far to project your chisel for the right degree. So for most chisels, or nearly all chisels, you want to be heading for about 30 degrees. So that is 30 millimeters past the mark, and then we're going to be able to get a nice angle on that chisel. So this chisel needs a lot of work. It's being used for bashing in nails and all sorts of site work. So I'm going to be using a little bit of this WD-40, which is called AC90, and then it's going to be able to make that wheel on the bottom of the honing guide roll about a lot better. And that's the thing I love about this guide, because it will just keep that constant angle. So you just roll it back and forth. This one is a diamond sharpening stone as opposed to a whetstone. I also do have a whetstone, but I do prefer this block as it's got all of the grits, so you can work your way up through the grits. So at the moment I'm just using half the block, and then what you can do is turn the block around. So you can see it's already starting to make a bit of a dent into it, but this chisel's so far gone, I decided to get out my Hilti grinder, and I'm going to be using one of these flappy discs. And if you look at my other videos, you'll see I use these same discs for grinding back the sash windows. This is a little bit of random stuff in my toolbox in there. That's one of my old flat grinding discs, my cutting discs, and that's knackered, so we won't be using that. So I'm just going to spray everything up with the AC90 while it's all out, get everything winterproofed. You want to put, there's two sides, there's a flat side and there's a concave side. So you want to put the concave side to the inside when you use anything that's got a deep hole like that flappy disc there. And then I'm just going to spin it off. So even though it's a sanding pad, you can see it still takes off quite a lot of material from the chisel. And I'm just going to keep working it and working it and working it until you start to see a nice edge start to come on the chisel. So I mean, you know, this is obviously entirely up to you what you do and how you do it. I'm just going to show you guys how I like to do it. So just keep rolling it across left and right, make it nice and even. This is a 40 grit flappy disc on there, just in case you were wondering. And then there's it in, so it's got a better edge on it now. At least when we put it to the stone, we can really hone it in and get that nice edge. So we're going to go to the stone and we're going to work our way up through the grits, and then soon you'll see how amazing this method of sharpening your chisels is, especially if you've been site bashing and using it as a demolition chisel. And once these are all sharpened, I will try and not do that again, because that's not what you want to do. Okay, so I've been working on the chisel for about 10 minutes or so, and now it's got a lovely edge on it. You want to give the chisel a couple of scrapes backwards, and there it is. That's ready to chop in some hinges and do whatever.